I promise you that by the end of this presentation, you will know exactly how to start making money online as a teenager. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, what your largest issue is, and how to solve it. And I made this entire huge presentation to explain all of the concepts in a way that doesn't waste time and that covers all of the points. So really quickly before that, I'm assuming that if you watch these kinds of raw, unedited lectures, and if this video was recommended to you, then you've probably wanted to start making money online through, a side hustle, some sort of online business, or you have tried to start making money online through a side hustle. And I'm here to tell you that I've been in your exact same position and I've started to make money online. So I used to try drop shipping these Alibaba phone cases, and that didn't work. And then I tried an agency. I tried starting an agency called a Bloom Advertising. That didn't work. And then I tried to start a TikTok core account, which also didn't work. And then I tried to start a self-improvement faceless YouTube channel, which also didn't work. And now I'm starting to actually make money online because of what I'm about to teach you in this presentation. So let's just get started with it. So you need to know this, right? Business is a matter of quantity and quality. Those are two very important things. But why are these important? And by the way, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you my foolproof 4-step framework that's going to increase your quality and quantity of work so that you can actually start making money online. But these are really important because you're providing more value if you do higher quality and quantity work. And you're also bringing in more traffic, which means potential customers that could buy whatever you're selling. So having more traffic would basically be like letting more people know that I have this exists and this is for sale and that I'm selling that. So that's what traffic basically is. And an example of this is, growing a YouTube channel and selling your fans a product. So the more videos, aka quantity that you make, the YouTube algorithm is going to show your videos to more people, and that's going to lead to more traffic, which leads to more sales, right? And then the better videos, which this should be quality, that means that people are going to watch for longer because, either they're better quality in the way that the information that you give is really good, like for these ones, or, there's like editing or something. So people are going to watch for longer, and that means that the YouTube algorithm is going to show your videos to more people because it has higher retention. And YouTube likes high retention because it keeps people on the YouTube website. And that's going to lead to more traffic and also more sales. And here is a quote from Alex Hormozi. This is a really good entrepreneur worth $100 million. Even though he's like a really good entrepreneur, you should still take his advice, even if you just want to start making money online. But he said in a tweet that there's basically 3 ways to drive growth in number of customers. You need to do more, you need to be better, and you need to be different. So we're not going to cover the different right now, but more is the quantity, of course, and then better is the quality, of course. So do more of what you're currently doing. So keep getting the quantity up and up and up, and then do it better. So increase the quality. So quantity and quality, those are really important, and then add something different. Yeah, this is a really good quote that I follow pretty much every day. And the next section is to put in the hours / quantity, right? And as Dwayne Johnson said, you need to put in the work, put in the hours, and then take what's yours. Right? So you need to work on your business / side hustle, whatever you want to call it, consistently every single day for at least an hour. And you need to be able to consistently do that and show up every single day, right? You can't miss a day. You can't stop working on your business and stuff, because racking up the hours is also going to mean that you're going to be practicing your skill of working on that business a lot more, and you're going to get a lot better at it. And guess what? That's also going to increase the quality, because since you're increasing the quantity, you're getting better and better and you're getting more practice. That's going to increase the quality, right? So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And here is an example to kind of help you with this really quickly. So there was a professor, a photography professor, and this is a true story, by the way, right? So the professor split the class into a left and right half. And then in the left half of the class, he said, take as many photos as you can and submit all of them, and I'll give you 100 for the semester or something, right? And then for the right side, he said, just take 1 photo and edit it and make it look nice and all of that. And I'm going to give you a grade for that 1 photo. So the group of people that could take as many photos as they wanted, and they just had to submit all of the photos, their photos actually ended up being better near the end because they took so many photos and they edited so many photos, and they got better over time with that practice and that quantity. But the people who just took 1 really good photo, even though they had all of that time to just focus on 1 photo, it still wasn't even that good. It wasn't as good as the people who took as many photos as they wanted because they only took 1 photo, right? They didn't get the practice, they didn't get the quantity. And if you increase the quantity, then you also increase the quality. So if you work inconsistently, you don't work that much, and you switch business models every couple of weeks or months because it's not working for you right now, like you're not getting results as fast as you wanted, then you're not going to see results, right? Because if you do any one of the things above, so if you're inconsistent, you don't work much, or you switch business models, this one's a really big choke point for a lot of people switching business models. This is why you're not seeing results, right? It's one of these 3 things. You need to have a good amount of quantity, right? And if you do even just one of these things, then you're not going to be swimming in money, dude. So volume negates luck. This is a really important quote. Once again, from Alex Hormozi. He actually has like multiple episodes on his podcast dedicated to this single concept. Volume negates luck is really important. Once again, this is Alex Hormozi, the $100 million net worth entrepreneur. It's a matter of how many total hours you're willing to put into a single business model. How many total hours, right? So that's the quantity. And make sure it's important that it's one business model, right? If you switch to a different business model and you try something completely separate, you're like basically resetting all of your progress, right? So you want to switch business models as little as possible, preferably not at all. And so really quickly, before I start talking about quality, I do have a Discord server, a completely free Discord server where there's Q&As with me, there's live events, there's calls, there's a great community of people who are literally just like you. There's so much stuff in there, and there's also, written and video lessons from me where I just talk about stuff I've recently learned, and all of that is to help you start making money online. So be sure to click the first link in the description for that, and if for some reason you don't like it there, you can always just leave in like 2 or 3 clicks. And now we're going to get onto quality, right? So we just went over quantity, and the other part is quality. Quality is also extremely important, right? So I mentioned that quality also improves when you increase your quantity, but you also need to focus on quality itself. So here's an example, right? Nobody's going to watch your, drop shipping advertisements, for example, your YouTube videos if you're doing a YouTube business model, or if you have an agency, your cold messaging and calling and your cold outreach and stuff. Nobody's going to watch those if they're quickly and lazily made, right? If you just like got it over with, if instead of actually putting like care and effort and thought into it, if it's bad quality, people are not gonna care about it. Because increasing volume, so increasing the quantity, is the answer when and only when quality surpasses the threshold of good enough, right? So if your quality is really bad, then the volume doesn't matter anymore. Volume only negates luck if the quality is quote unquote good enough, and preferably even better than good enough. And once again, this is another Alex Hormozi tweet. So you can probably tell that I take a lot of inspiration from this guy, and I apply a lot of the stuff that he says. But really quickly, I want you to think about this, right? People can always watch a high dopamine, ultra edited video with a ton of views, right? So if a video has a ton of views, then it kind of has the social proof like, okay, since this video has a ton of views, that must mean that it's a good video because a lot of other people watched it. Or instead of watching, some content like that, they can just watch an educational video from like someone else who they trust, like an Alex Hormozi video, right? So like, for example, this guy also makes YouTube videos about business. They could just watch a video from him instead of listening to you if you're giving business advice, for example. So you need to make sure that what you're teaching is actually good quality and high effort. Or if you're doing short form content, they can just scroll past your short form content video, right? Because variable rewards, something called variable rewards. So with short form content, there's always the idea that they can always just keep scrolling because the next video, it could be something really good. It could be something, super entertaining, funny, valuable, like something that would be worth saving. It could always be that next video. So they always have that kind of variable rewards in their mind. So you need to give them a good reason to keep watching your video specifically instead of scrolling past you. Because even if your business model doesn't require posting any content, like the 3 things I mentioned up here, dropshipping, YouTube videos, and an agency, even if it's like a door-to-door thing, I don't know, like literally any business model, people can do so many other educational or entertaining things with their time. So you need to make it high quality to have their attention go towards you and not towards whatever else that they could be doing instead. And there's 2 ways that high quality applies, right? So there's higher quality lead generation, which sounds like a super complicated fancy term, but it just means like traffic, like a way to get attention. So like lead generation could be like, making YouTube videos about a certain topic, or like for dropshipping, it could be making like TikTok videos or advertisements for your product. So higher quality lead generation, so that means that you put more effort and more care into your work, means that you're going to capture more attention because it's actually high quality, and your audience sees you as more trustworthy and professional, right? Because you're not just, off the whim doing like super low quality stuff. You actually prepared something, you actually put effort into it. And for that reason, it just seems like higher quality and higher effort in general. And a higher quality product, so the thing that you actually sell to the people that you're going to make money from, you're obviously going to get more sales because it's a better product, and you're going to be able to sell it at a higher price because it's more valuable. It's a better product. Like think about a really well edited, like well thought out, high effort, short form content video, like a YouTube short. Like they always perform really well. So every time that you see like a really high quality video on like the shorts tab or something, maybe you still watch YouTube shorts, maybe you've quit that, but like the ones that like feel like they're deserving of doing well, they always have so many views, right? So it's like the videos that seem like they're deserving of like having a bunch of views, like millions of views, they always have like millions or like hundreds of thousands of views just because it's a good video. So this I got this recommended on like my YouTube homepage. There's this channel called Modern Ideas. This guy, he literally posted his first video 1 month ago, and it got I literally screenshotted this before checking it again. Like, I didn't even check how many views it had after I watched it. I just realized it literally has 2.1 million views. I watched it when it had like 100,000 or something. That's actually crazy how it has 2.1 million views. Like, his videos, if you can like search it up right now and watch it, but his videos are like pretty high quality and they're actually thought out, instead of like, low effort videos that are just being like juiced out as much as possible just to, get as many videos as possible. So since this guy actually made, a high effort, highly edited, it doesn't have to be highly edited, but highly edited usually means higher effort. Since it was a really good, highly edited, high quality video, this actually, like, the first video on this guy's channel got 2.1 million views. So your videos need to be high quality, or else they're not going to capture attention. They're not going to have people, wanting to take out their credit cards as fast as possible. This is a completely new channel, but the first video, it popped off so much, like 2.1 million views. Like, there's countries that have like well under 2.1 million people. So you can have the best dropshipping product or website, but if you don't post a bunch of videos advertising it, like advertising your product on like TikTok and YouTube Shorts and stuff, nobody's going to have any idea that it even exists, right? So you could have the best website, but you're not going to get any people coming to your website and buying your stuff if you don't advertise it a lot. And you can make the highest quality course and you can try selling that course, but if you say that it's 20 minutes, then nobody's going to buy it because it's only 20 minutes. It doesn't go in depth. There's no quantity to it, but there is quality. So what is the solution to this, you're probably asking? Well, it is to do work that you actually love, which sounds very crazy, but just let me explain really quickly if you've gotten this far into the video. If you have a business/side hustle, whatever you want to call it, that you genuinely love working on, you'll actually work on it so much more than, just working on a business just for the money, right? So like, for example, you play video games for the sake of playing video games, not necessarily the result that comes from it, right? Like, you probably don't like the result that comes from playing video games. And you watch social media for the sake of watching social media. Like, you don't like the results that come from social media. You like actually doing the action of watching social media. And therefore, you get addicted to these. You get addicted to video games and you get addicted to social media. However, you start a dropshipping side hustle just for the money that it'll give you in the future, right? You're doing it for the future thing, not necessarily that you enjoy it right now. So you barely spend any time on your business because let's be honest, you don't really care about your business. You're just doing it for the money. And since you actually don't really care about your business, but you actually care about, playing video games and watching social media, you get addicted to these and you barely spend any time on these. But if you combine work and play, then you're going to end up being addicted to working on your side hustle. Maybe not like addicted like you can't be pulled from it, but like addicted like you can work on it as much as you want and you actually want to work on it. So instead of separating, work and play, instead of separating what's fun and what's, you need to do, quote unquote, need to do in order to make money, then get the best of both worlds and combine them into one thing, right? That's going to get you so much better results. Be addicted to your work, because if you're addicted to your work, then you're going to be working on your business so much more. You're not going to, do like a lazy 15 minutes at the end of the day. You're going to actually spend like hours dedicated to it every single day, and you're going to love doing it too. And that's going to mean higher quality and quantity. Sounds familiar? Quality and quantity, you want those in your business because you genuinely love your business. You're going to actually want to be working on it. And it's actually going to be something purposeful to you instead of, like AI generated TikTok videos that like with like the Minecraft gameplay and the Reddit stories and stuff. Like, those just hurt humanity, right? You're like wasting so much of people's time. Like, even if one of those videos popped off and you saw like the metrics and it said like 3.4 million hours of watch time or something, like you would actually be like so depressed in your brain because like you like took away from society instead of adding just because, you wanted some money from a side hustle or something. So here is how to do work that you actually love. So here's the 4-step framework that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Step 1 is that you need to identify a group of people that you genuinely care about. So think about a group of people that you genuinely care about. So for me, it's people who want to become entrepreneurs. I just love the idea of entrepreneurship, and I want everyone who wants to become an entrepreneur to be successful in doing so, right? And step 2 is to define their largest common problem that's among that group of people, right? So let's say that it's, young men who want to become entrepreneurs. Their biggest issue is that they try dropshipping and agency and all this quick stuff, but that doesn't work for them because they don't actually love doing the work. And so step 3 is learning about how to solve that problem. So, for example, with the example that I'm going with, it would be finding out that that's the issue, that, they're doing dropshipping and agency, but those actually don't work. And you should actually be doing something that you love instead of, just doing a business model just for the money. That would be found out during this step. And then this one would just be like defining their biggest common problem. That would just be like they're not having success in business and entrepreneurship, right? That's their issue. And then this is learning about how to solve that and then selling the solution to that problem to them. So if you couldn't tell by now, I'm talking about what I'm doing right now. I'm helping young men start making money online, and I sell a solution to that problem. And if you actually do these 4 steps and you do them well, then you're going to be swimming in money. And you probably have a question right now, which I'm going to answer in a second, which is, how do I actually get traffic? Like, how do I get people? How do I get my ideal audience to know that I even have a product up for sale? Right? So I have the solution to their problem, but how am I going to tell them that that exists, right? Well, firstly, let me explain something really quickly, and I'm going to get onto that in a second, right? So you might have heard of this thing called Ikigai. It's basically like the philosophy that if there's something that you love doing, that the world needs, that you can be paid for, and that you're good at, then that should be your career path, and that should be what you're doing with most of your time, right? And I actually, after making this 4-step framework, I realized that it basically fits with this Ikigai, and then I adjusted it a little bit to fit with the Ikigai more perfectly. But basically, this first step is what you love because you actually care about these group of people. And then since you're solving a big problem for that group of people, it's what the world needs. And then learning about how to solve that problem, you're becoming good at that field and you're becoming good at helping that group of people. And you can be paid for it since you're turning it into a product. So this is step 1, 2, 3, and 4. It literally fits perfectly into the Ikigai framework in order to determine like what niche they should be going into. So here is an example. And so this is what I just talked about right now about myself. I care about young men who want to become entrepreneurs but are struggling. They can't find success in a side hustle, so they keep switching business models and stuff. But the best entrepreneurs say that mindset and doing work that you love is really important, and that drop shipping and stuff like that is not good to do. And then I sell one-to-one personalized help. And I can cover all of the steps that I just mentioned here, steps 1 through 4, in a lot more detail, but they're actually really, really simple, right? So this sounds complex, finding a group of people that you actually care about, and how am I going to sell a product to them? It's actually really easy, right? And this is me, if you couldn't tell already, and I already mentioned it. But you're not going to have insane competition when you do this business model because your business is about your own thing that you care about and not like a drop shipping winning product that a bunch of other people are doing right now. And you actually care about this thing. So you're going to put so much more effort than everybody else who's in the same field as you, if they even exist, right? So even if a bunch of people are doing the same thing as you, which not many people are, you're going to be working so much harder than them because once again, you care about your work. I don't know how many times I have to mention that, but yeah, this is becoming the most popular business model right now because so many people are hopping onto this business model because they're realizing that it's actually the best thing to start doing. And I literally see small channels like mine, like literally just like mine, how I'm posting videos right now, pop up on YouTube every single day. And in this step, when I talk about, the best entrepreneurs, I mean Sam Ovens, Alex Hormozi, which I already mentioned, and Charlie Morgan, right? So these guys, Sam Ovens and Charlie Morgan, these are both really top tier entrepreneurs. Charlie Morgan makes $1 million a month from his business called Easy Grow, and Sam Ovens was the guy who mentored Charlie Morgan, right? So this is kind of his teacher, and he has a social media. This Sam Ovens entrepreneur, he has a social media called Skool, spelled like Skool. If you haven't heard of it yet, you've probably heard of the social media Skool. It's rapidly growing super, super fast. And Alex Hormozi is actually like a co-owner, like an investor in Skool, just because of how good the social media is. So, these 3 guys are pretty interconnected. And so now you probably have that super lingering question in your head, how do I get my product offer in front of my target audience, right? So I talked about in the step 4 of my 4-step framework, I said to sell a solution to your audience's problems. And so here's how to get traffic. Here's how to actually get people to see that you have an offer. Here is how to show your audience that you have, a product for sale. And guess what? It's what I'm doing right now. So I'm literally practicing what I'm preaching at the moment. So there's kind of some inception going on here. But instead of YouTubers who are making their money through YouTube telling you to do dropshipping and agency and stuff, I'm telling you to start a YouTube channel where you teach stuff, and I'm doing the same thing myself. I'm literally doing that right now at this very moment. So I'm literally practicing what I'm preaching. So you're going to want to talk about your topic/niche on a YouTube channel specifically. And don't worry, this is not going to be, a super big 100K subscribers YouTube channel that like your school is going to find out or anything. It's going to be it's going to be kept fairly small to your ideal audience that you actually care about. So instead of having to pay for traffic with, advertisements, you're getting paid to advertise on YouTube, because YouTube down the line with your channel, you're going to start making money from ads. They're going to pay you with AdSense. So you're literally getting paid to advertise yourself, which is amazing. And then YouTube is going to push out your videos to your target audience for you. So when you do advertisements and stuff like that, you have to like put in your target demographic. So like, 18 to 24-year-old males who are in this space and they're interested in these things. YouTube is going to do that all for you. You just have to post a video and they're going to find your ideal audience for you over time. And then you just make raw, unedited videos or like lightly edited videos where you give advice to your ideal audience about like, just the stuff that you've learned in step 3 of the process, which is learn about how to solve that problem, learn how to solve the largest issue that your audience has, and then just talk to the camera about the issues they're facing and the solutions that you've learned from step 3. So like do your research, learn the solutions to their issues, and then go to the camera and talk about the issue and be like, I've researched this for like 10, 20 hours, and here is what I've learned so far, and I've actually tested this. And yeah, just like I wrote here, you can also try out what you learned and talk about your experiences in your videos. You can test stuff and talk about your own experiences, right? So if you have like a fitness channel and you talk about, the best ways to gain muscle or like the best ways to lose fat and stuff like that, you can, try a new diet for like a week, and then you can be like, okay, I tried this diet for a week and here's what happened. And pretty much all the people that you're targeting with that kind of video, so like people who want to lose fat and lose weight and people who want to start gaining muscle, like those people, pretty much all of them are going to click on your video because they're all going to be like, okay, I kind of want to see if this diet works, and this guy literally tested it for me instead of me having to test it. So yeah, you can try stuff, you can experiment, and then just talk about your experiences in videos. And please do not give let me bold this. Please do not give worse advice in your videos because your good advice is in your paid product. Please do not do that. You want to give your best advice in your videos and then help them with the implementation in your paid product, right? So give the information, give everything that you know, everything that you've learned, and then just sell the implementation. So what I mean by give the information, basically tell them everything that you've learned, give them all the information, and that's going to prove to them like, wow, this guy is pretty good. Wow, this guy's videos are good. Their paid product must be even better. Their paid product must help me even more. And then with the implementation part that you're going to sell, you're going to give more personalized one-to-one help where you're going to actually help them specifically with their situation. And then in your videos, you're going to be talking to kind of a general audience instead of just to one person with their specific issue. And then your audience is also going to feel like they owe you something because you've helped them so much. And yeah, that is about it for this massive presentation. The video before this is like 22 minutes long after I cut everything. So after I cut all the pauses and mistakes I've made, it was still 22 minutes. And of just like, crammed, dense information and actually value packed. But yeah, once again, join the Discord server. And if the entrepreneur lifestyle is really attractive to you, you would love to retire your parents, like even small stuff like buying the more expensive thing at the grocery store and not having to worry about the price of everything and, losing a little bit of money here and there, and being able to actually, retire your parents and see like their proud faces, and being able to give money to like people that you care about so that they don't have to worry about financial stuff, and not having to worry about bills and stuff, and being able to travel the world and go wherever you want and live wherever you want, and being able to live that nomad lifestyle instead of, while other people are literally sitting in a 9-to-5 cubicle with like an angry boss who's like screaming at you all the time, who's super emotional and chaotic and stuff. Like that entrepreneur lifestyle is actually so good. So if you want to live a purposeful entrepreneur lifestyle, please be sure to click the second link in the description. If you made it this far in the video, you definitely have potential. So yeah, just click the second link in the description. It will change your life, I promise you. Just check it out for a minute or two. And if it's not for you, if you're not interested, you can always just close the tab and forget I ever mentioned it. And so yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening.